And welcome back to Friday Briefing. Thank you so much for staying with us. Remember, you can interact with me at Betty M. Kialo or use the hashtag Friday Briefing. And so let's get straight to our guest anchor segment. Tonight, we're doing it very, very differently, something probably that has never been done here on Friday Briefing. Thank you so much. We have Dr. Hamisi Kote. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
He is a chiropractor. And so shortly, he's going to be explaining to us who a chiropractor is. And there are only 9 in Kenya.
That's right.
Geez, what do you guys study that is so tough that we only have 9 in Kenya?
Well, chiropractic is expensive, and you can only do chiropractic in the US, in South Africa, in Australia, and in Europe.
All right.
Chiropractic is a medical profession that specializes or deals with the musculoskeletal condition and well as the nervous system.
All right.
And we look at how these these problems in the nervous system and the musculoskeletal system affect the general health.
Okay.
That's basically a simple explanation of what chiropractic is.
A simple explanation.
Yes.
So because we have 9, I guess my child has to be the 10th one or something.
That'd be awesome.
All right. So we also have Teresa. She is a patient, and therefore she's been having backaches for some time now, and we're going to be seeing the process that that chiropractic is all about.
Right.
And then we also have Gitao at the back there. He is
a
physiotherapist. All right, so let's get this started. So how different is this from the physiotherapy that we know?
Chiropractic, as I said, it's a medical profession on its own stand. Physiotherapy is a medical profession on its own stand. The difference always comes in the philosophy. In chiropractic, we believe that the body has what we call innate intelligence, the power to heal itself. And what we do is we correct dysfunctions. We look for things that are interfering with how the body performs and causing it to misfunction. And when it misfunctions, then it causes pain. So we look at metabolic. What is it that you put in your body that should help nourish the body? Our body is like a flower. You need to keep on watering it to shine and look good. Then we look at the structure. What forms the structure? And when whatever forms the structure gets affected, then you also get problems.
Right.
And the last part is that we look at emotional health. Emotional health.
That affects everything else?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Emotional stress affects everything else.
All right.
So you look at the 3 pillars of health, and it's working together with the 3 that makes chiropractic special and different from physiotherapy and other medical professions.
So wait, the first one was...
The first one is metabolic. Metabolic balance. What do you put in your body?
What you eat. Is
That's
that
right,
it?
yes.
And then the second one...
The second one, you're looking at structure. Your body frame.
Okay.
That is the skeletal system. And then the third one, you're looking at emotional health.
So let's say you have the first one and the second one correct, and the emotional part is not correct.
Almost everybody gets emotional trouble.
Yeah.
Almost everybody gets stressed with life today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about back pains, because that is really what many people suffer from.
That's right.
And, many people even go to the point of going for surgery.
Right.
Does it need to get there? Because I don't know why, even here in the newsroom, because of sitting for too long, everybody seems to be having these back pains and back problems.
Back pain is a very complex problem, but it depends on how you look at it. As a clinician, it depends on how you look at it. I specialize in fascia manipulation, which is a manual method that looks at the human body through myofascial system in a 3D system. In 3D, what do I mean? We look at the body in 3 planes of motion. The body is supposed to move in 3 planes of motion without getting tangled.
Okay.
Now,
tangle means like without you feeling any pain?
Any pain, yeah. You can move, you can do different directions without having any discomfort. This is a method that was developed by a physiotherapist from North Italy, and his name is Luigi Stecco.
Okay.
And over the time, it has been developed to be a global model, a different way of thinking by his daughter and his son, who are medical doctors. Okay. They've done extensive research in University of Rennes, University of Padova in Italy, and other big universities in the world today. So this system, we look at how you move, and we look at function. So if we normally divide the body into 14 segments, and each segment has 6 motions. And all these motions, we call them myofascial units, have to be connected. If one of the motions gets affected because of pain or something, then the fascia, which is the connective tissue that we work on, gets tangled, and it doesn't glide as it should. So what happens is that now the fascia knots up and starts attracting pressure from other places.
Okay.
Now, if you're having a backache, I need to get a lot of information from you to understand where do I categorize your back. Is it as a result of a skeletal problem, or is it as a result of an internal dysfunction giving you backache? What I have found very interesting since I started doing a lot of fascia manipulation is that a lot of back problems that people get actually are not true back problems. They are as a result of internal issues. And what happens is that the internal system causes a lot of pressure and tension from the inside, and that where the anchoring of the spine is pulls and it causes you to get all that tight.
All right.
We have some pictures, maybe we can show them.
Yeah, we'll have the pictures. Also, would like to see just how it's done.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've already taken a brief history because the show is short.
So the thing is, just before you continue, Hamisi, when you say the tissues kind of get entangled,
yes,
is that where the pain usually comes from?
That's right.
Okay.
So let me just use guitar as a quick demonstration. The body is supposed to move in 3 planes. The first plane, we call it sagittal plane. So it's bending forward and bending backward.
Okay.
You should do that without pain.
Without pain.
Yeah. The next motion is called frontal. That motion and that motion. You should be able to do that without pain. And the other motion now is this motion and this motion. Now, whenever you lose any one of these motion, it's as a result of a densification. A knot has formed somewhere in the fascia, which we call a CC point. We use the anatomical vectors that have been used to get these points so that you are able to know what point controls what movement in what plane.
All right, so when that happens, when the knots happen,
yes,
that's where you come in to detangle them? Is that in layman's language?
You can actually just say that.
Yeah.
You can just say that. So you'll listen to the patient history, then you do a physical exam, and then when you finish doing the physical exam, then you correlate your findings. And then you correlate your findings from the history and your physical exam. And whatever you feel as you palpate and examine with the patient, you are looking for areas of densification, areas where the fascia does not grind. And these are very specific spots in the body. Okay,
can you show us perhaps?
Sure. So in her case, she has a problem of acidity.
Acidity.
Acidity is her main problem. But whenever also she gets her monthly periods, then her back problem even becomes worse, plus the acidity. So it's like she was always feeling bloated. So in this case, when you listen to that kind of a story, and then you do various tests and you see that the pain is not specific, then you're able to give that pain is not as a result of an external structural problem, but as a result of an internal problem. Okay. So in this case, because we had taken previous exam just to make it possible to fit in the show, we're going to examine, and Gechao is going to help me just examine areas that we according to the fascia manipulation internal dysfunction problem, we believe are contributing to the acidity, are contributing to the back pain. Okay. And if we treat those, she should tell us what she's feeling now, and then she'll tell us when we're done.
Oh, really? So it's that fast?
Yes.
Okay, so Teresa, talk to us. How are you feeling now?
Okay, the pain is still there, a little bit of pain.
Where is the pain exactly?
The back. Some back pain, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the acid it comes sometimes it doesn't. So it's like it comes most of the time when I'm in my menstrual periods. I have some acidity. So
all right. So even acidity contributes to back
Absolutely,
pain?
Because...
How is that possible?
If you can bring me my pictures, it will be easier to show.
Okay, yeah. Maybe we can have the pictures.
Because what happens is that the body is divided into 5 segments. So we have this. Our body is a cylinder. The first thing we need to understand is that our body is a cylinder. So if a body is a cylinder, then Luigi was able to divide the body into this as one part. We call it the pelvis or the waist. Then this is called the lumbar or the back pain, low back pain that people call about. Then the thorax or the chest, neck, and the head. Okay. Now, in each one of these tanks, what you have is that you have 3 organ function units, or rather internal organs that do the same function and work together. Now we have what we call visceral. Visceral is the small intestine, the large intestines, and the like. And then we have what we call granular. You're looking at the ovaries, the prostate, and stuff like that on the other side. Then you're also looking at vascular, which is the blood vessels, and the nerves and all that. Now, when somebody complains of acidity, what you do is that you're still going to do a medical checkup test for back pain like you do on any other patient. But then you already have in your background that she has an issue with acidity lies within the intestines, the visceral part.
Yes.
So you'll also make sure that when you're examining your patient, you're going to check the visceral part.
Okay.
But you're also going to check the granular part, which is the menstrual cycle one. And then between the two, you're able to compare which is causing the problem.
Okay.
And then that's how you treat it.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So with so what exactly do you do to a case like that one?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have you lie down. Now let's look at.
So Teresa, what degree of pain are you in? Are you at right now from 0 to 10?
5.
5.
Yes.
Okay, that's still a lot.
So we're going to look for points that control the pelvic structure, or we call it the pelvic tensor structure. And guitar will start by looking at a point we call extralateral. And you are going to tell us if it's sharp. And we're only looking for like a needle pain. He's going to just be pushing it, but you're looking for very sharp pain. So you tell us when you feel one of that. How is that?
It's sharp, but
It's
not,
sharp.
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to look at one under the pelvis. And how is that?
Not so sharp.
It's not too sharp.
Yeah.
What about down here? Is that sharp?
No, not
No.
much.
So only this one.
Yes.
And then this one? Is that sharp?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Lie on your back facing up. Facing up, facing up. Okay. You're going to check one point here. How is that? Very sharp?
Yes.
Okay, that looks
Okay.
painful.
We're going to check another one up here. Is also painful?
Yes.
Okay. Check another one down here.
So in that situation, what
Perfect.
normally happens?
So, if I had my pictures, it would be easier. So this structure now gets. So you're looking at our body now. If I cut across my waist, we have 5 structures that are hollow like that. Those structures have special membrane. That membrane is formed of fascia, and that there's a fascia that is connecting the organs to the hollowness, and there's the fascia that is connecting the organs in a sequence to the organs that do the same thing. So from the
Right.
gut when you eat food to the
Right.
time you eliminate it.
Right.
That's a sequence.
Okay.
Now, so when we look at these points, we are looking at once for the pelvic structure. Why? Because that's the area of the complaint.
Okay.
The area of complaint is this.
All right.
So the back pain is there, and those points are also still there on the back. So we look for the areas that are very, very painful. When we
Alright.
look at those, then we're going to work on them. And as we work on them, you break that collagen stiffness. And when you break that collagen stiffness, what happens is that you get the gliding motion back.
Okay.
And then you give the body time for it to heal
All
itself.
right. So does this entail any sort of drug use,
No.
any medication?
No, there is no use of any surgery or
No use of
medicine.
surgery,
No.
completely?
No.
And the patients have positive feedback?
The result speaks for itself. It's patients who come up and you see it, they know it. They'll tell you they're in pain or they're not in pain. It's that simple.
And so is this covered by insurance? Because that's the other, because many Kenyans would want to access such services.
It's a shame that we don't cover it. It's not covered in insurance in Kenya, but that's just in Kenya. Fascia manipulation is not practiced by chiropractors alone. Fascia manipulation is practiced by medical doctors, by physiotherapists, by chiropractors, by osteopaths, people who do manual therapy work. Collaborate to do the same thing.
All right.
So when I forward a claim of my patient to the insurance company and the claim is rejected because the patient has seen a chiropractor, it makes me feel pain because the patient has benefited. We have
Yes.
saved insurance a lot of money.
Yes.
Because one thing that people don't realize is that a lot of the MRIs that you do don't tell you much.
Really?
Don't tell you much because evidence is showing that MRIs is just a picture.
Isn't it a picture
yes,
of
it'll show you
what is happening?
discarnations. Yes, it'll show you discarnations, right? But the question is why? Why are you getting a discarnation? What is it that is causing those discs to degenerate and
Right.
start being pulled out?
Right.
That is the cause. Everybody thinks it's lifting. No, it's not lifting. The body,
Yes.
there's no way, I see people getting corsets.
But how?
I see people getting corsets.
Yes, corsets.
And you're put on a corset for almost forever. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you work on the body, if you understand how the body works and you work within the 3D model, then what will happen is that you don't need to use a corset.
And how is it affordable? Because like you said, it's a very expensive type of medicine, if I can call it that. Is it affordable?
It's affordable because if you go to a regular physiotherapy with a back problem, for example, you're going to be paying 3,500 or
Per
3,600 per session. And you do 10 sessions of physiotherapy and 10 sessions of hydrotherapy. If you calculate the total of that, then you come to see us. You come and see us 3 visits. And we charge you, if you come to see me, I charge 10,500 a visit. And you do 10, that is 30,000. But you do 3 visits. You waste 3 of your days, and like wasting 20 of your days. So productivity, number 1, goes up. Number 2, the cost. Number 3, the pain. And number 4, just emotional feel, how you feel when you're in pain.
All right.
Yeah.
So Teresa, how are you feeling now that the physiotherapist has been working on you for some few minutes now?
How many have you done? We've done the powder.
Is it much better? Is it?
Yeah, some parts it's okay. Sometimes it's more painful than
So some
others.
places are fine.
Yeah.
All right, fine. So we'll leave you to get better
Yeah.
as you read for us the news, Dr.
Sure.
You know? Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see if in case this you get tired of this of chiropractic, you can come and take my job. Have a seat.